that. Let's see. Work. Amazing. Wonderful. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, everyone. We're gonna get started. I'm so pleased. Oh, there's someone else here to see so many of my favorite faces all in one spot. And all of you I know have an active, we'll say regular, but have a practice of some sort. I know firsthand. Sometimes we're all more regular than others, but I feel like this is just such an absolutely perfect day to commit a little bit of time to stillness and introspection. And whether you're using this time to look back, to look ahead, to just be in the present moment and be with where you are right now, it will be whatever it needs to be. So I'm just going to spotlight myself. I'm just going to ask that everyone make sure that they are on mute. And other than that, just so you have a point of reference, we're going to be no more than half an hour at the absolute most. You might want to have a little journal handy. As we know, as all of us know, meditation can be so many different things. So I would welcome you as we go through this practice today. If you need to be sitting, if you want to be lying down, you can do that. It can be a combination of body positions. And if you find that there's a calling to stop and do some journaling or write down anything that I'm saying or asking you to contemplate, then I would welcome you to do that too, right? There's no, as far as I'm concerned, in my practice and what I teach, there's no wrong way to do meditation. It's whatever it needs to be for you, wherever you are on your path today. So we're going to try to do this with my friend. He wanted to be in here with me. So hopefully I don't have to get up and let him out. But if I do, I do. That's how it goes. All right. So welcome. Again, so happy that you're all here. And a little collective energy as we meditate together. It's always ideal when we're in the same physical location together, but I think that we can still create some really amazing energy just knowing that we're all doing it at the same time, focusing on similar experiences. So I would invite you just to get in any position that's comfortable for you, whether that's lying down or sitting up. Make sure you're warm, you're cozy, probably not a problem in Costa Rica. You two are like right on my screen here, rubbing it in. I love it. So getting yourself as comfy and settled as you can. Maybe shutting down your eyes and just scanning, just an initial scan. Do I have everything that I need to find some peace and some ease for this next little chunk of time? Am I warm enough? Am I settled? Is there anything that I could offer myself just to be a little bit more supportive for whatever my needs are for the next little bit of time? And we'll take just a little opportunity to notice how we're doing as we show up today for our practice. How am I right now? So just allowing your breath to move in and out of your body with ease. You don't have to change anything. Maybe observing if there's any tension that you're consciously holding in your face. So often we hold tension in our jaw, around our eyes. We just let that kind of melt away. We feel our shoulders dropping down and away from our ears because, of course, we hold so much of our resistance, our reactivity, our tension, the weight of the world we carry literally on our shoulders. So feel your shoulders just dropping down and away from your ears, and notice how that conscious release moves all the way down your arms to your hands to your fingers. It's just like you're putting down, putting down. You can feel a softening in your belly, where we hold a lot of our nervousness, a lot of our anxiousness, a lot of our defensiveness. Just feeling a warmth through your abdomen, through your hips. And then a heaviness in your legs. whether you are sitting or whether you are lying down, just feeling the weight of your thighs and how that might feel like an anchoring that moves all the way down your legs through to your feet and through your toes. So there is a sense, a feeling that you are really here. You're in this body, you're in this moment, wherever you are. I am here. And yes, our meditation today will be a reflection, a little bit of looking back. It might be some preparedness as we move ahead on this beautiful day, the final day of 2024. But right now, the only thing that matters is how we are in this moment. That's really the essence of meditation, right? How are you in this moment? And so a very big part of being rooted in our own needs, in taking care of ourselves, of finding peace even when life gets chaotic, is of realizing, one of my favorites, I'm sure you've all heard it before, if I don't have a problem in this moment, then I don't have a problem. So in this moment, as we sit together, as we come together, all is well. In this breath, we have everything we need. Maybe take a few moments and just remind yourself of that. Whatever that little mantra is, I always love just saying, I am here. Or in this moment, all is well. And you can even simplify it just to all is well. And if that reminder has to come with every single breath, because maybe life doesn't feel like all is well, but in this moment, in this breath, all is well. Okay, so as we come together, a little reflection of the past, and this can be 2024, although that seems like a really big chunk of time. It could be this past season, it could be this past week, it could be any kind of leg of your journey that encompasses all of or components of 2024. And taking a little moment, a little gander in your memory bank to consider the blessings of this past year. It doesn't have to be in an essay format or a chronological checklist of all of the things that you want to practice gratitude, but what comes to your mind when you reflect on, again, maybe all of 2024, or maybe it's just whatever comes to your mind, to your heart. And they don't have to be all at once. So maybe let's just do a few at a time or one at a time. So you can begin here by bringing your attention into your heart center. And if you like, some people love that kinesthetic touch of putting a hand on a heart and a hand on a belly, or two hands on a heart, or hands to prayer, whatever feels like a symbol of gratitude and honoring for you. And pull into your mind and into your heart. Let's start with one thing or one person, one experience this past year that has shown itself as a blessing to you. You can bring that thing, that person, that being that experience, that lesson into your heart, and just sit with it for a few moments, for a few breaths. You might notice sensations that you feel in your physical body as you reflect on this. You might feel emotions start to bubble up. I know that's what I always feel. And you might even reflect of why this was the first thing that came to your mind when you think, when you reflect, when you consider what a big blessing of this past year has been. You might send it some thank you, acknowledge it, and then let it go. We'll do this for 2 more things. So you might release for a moment, maybe move your body a little bit. And again, without overthinking it, because a big part of this practice is just the kind of intuitive nature, what arises, what comes to the surface when you ask yourself this question. So again, in retrospect, what's another blessing, another lesson, another opportunity for growth of this past year for which you'd like to practice gratitude? Acknowledgement, honor. And again, if the kinesthetic touch is helpful to you, bring it to your heart. Spend a few breaths with it. Notice what the reactions in your physiology are, what changes in your physical body, what you notice in your physical body when you bring this blessing to your mind. And remember that sometimes blessings aren't the happy rainbow butterfly events. They're the things that are painful and hard that we learn from. However this blessing shows up to you, just welcome it as it is. You don't have to put a bow on it or have it in a pretty frame. Again, send it a little thank you or a big thank you. You're tucking it in your pocket, bringing it with you in this next leg of your journey. And then let that one go. And so that might be the contemplation for the third and final one that we'll practice gratitude for, which is maybe it is something, if you haven't gone there yet, that you wouldn't normally think of as a blessing, or you wouldn't have initially thought of as a blessing, but you're starting to see how we, of course, grow through those challenges. We grow through what we go through. The hard stuff is where we lean into those edges and where we expand and we foster and cultivate our own growth, our own progress. So for this one, I'm going to suggest, if you haven't gone there yet, that the blessing that you connect with, that you honor, might not have seemed like a blessing when it first showed up in your life. So again, take a few moments, allow it to come in, allow it to come into your mind, allow it to come into your heart, your body, sit with it for a few moments. Notice how your body responds to it. Maybe reflect on the lessons that you have gained, the growth that you have experienced, any of your own evolution that has come from this experience, this part of your journey this year. And then you can let that one go. And then just coming back to yourself again as you are in this moment. I am here. Our minds love to take us on a little reel of what has been, and sometimes it's helpful, but it's also wildly beneficial when we come back to where we are, which is here in this moment. The next part of our practice, I'm going to just offer you some ways of being, you could say emotions or perhaps growth opportunities in the package of a word or a phrase. And this little reflection / meditation is an opportunity for you to look back and consider ways that you have shown up for yourself this past year. So how has 2024, or again, any part of this last phase of your life, taught you to be more humble? How have you learned or practiced your humility this year? How has 2024 asked you to practice empathy, or taught you or shown you how to be more empathetic to those in your life, to the world, to yourself? Maybe all of the above. How has 2024 supported you in exploring grace? Maybe that's in your physical body, in the way you treat yourself or others. How have you moved through your life this year with a little bit more grace? And what has 2024 taught you or shone the spotlight on your strength? How did you learn that you were stronger than you thought? How did you have to show up with strength that maybe you didn't know you had? How has strength and or resiliency shown up in your life this year? And as we move through this final portion of reflection, what, if anything, are you committed to working at letting go of? It's one thing to say we're letting go, it's another thing to do it. So what are you noticing about yourself, your journey, your life, that you want to start or continue the process of release? It's usually ongoing, but what are you working on? Just putting down, putting aside, letting go. Don't need to bring it over the threshold of 2025. Okay, so let's take a nice big breath in. Release it with a sigh. Let's do that 2 more times. Really think about this letting go. 2024, bye-bye. Nice big breath in. If it was quite a year, it might be a very audible sigh. Might be more like a vomit. And you might even want to use your arms this time, taking a nice big breath in. I always like to push my palms down when I'm letting this go. It's like you're releasing. One of my favorite quotes that I think of this time of year by Rainer Maria Rilke. I don't think I'm pronouncing her last name properly. And now we welcome the new year, full of things that have never been. Say that one more time. And now we welcome the new year, full of things that have never been. So knowing that we can't predict, we can set intentions and we can do all of that stuff. But my suggestion is that the intention is we welcome whatever it is with as much peace, with as much clarity as possible. So for 2025, your intention might be what comes, let it come. What goes, let it go, and see what remains. What comes, let it come. Let go. What goes, let it go, and see what remains. I suspect we've all spent some time considering if we have intentions or resolutions or goals or visions, and that's more of a personal process that happens off of our mat. I'll invite you to spend the rest of your day or tomorrow or even the next week. There's no rush on taking the time to really get clear on this. So to finish our practice, I'm just going to leave you with a few phrases that maybe some of them will land with you, or maybe one of them will stand out in particular. And so to do this again, if you like the kinesthetic touch, there might be an offering to yourself of a hand on a heart and a hand on a belly. And of course, these are just suggestions. So maybe one or two of them will land personally with you. Maybe you have something completely different on your trajectory of affirmation or intention. But I would suspect that we can all find benefit in each one of these. I am happiest when I take care of myself. You might think about how that looks briefly. I am happiest when I take care of myself. Healthy boundaries are a way of showing love to myself and to others. Healthy boundaries are a way of showing love. I can always choose peace. I can always choose peace. I step into this new year with clarity and no expectations. I step into this new year with clarity and no expectations. What will be, will be. I attract only positive energy, people, and experiences. I attract only positive energy, people, and experiences. I am open to everything that 2025 will teach. I am open to everything that this year, 2025, will teach. And finally, this is my year to shine. I embrace the unlimited potential in me. I love that one. This is my year to shine. I embrace the unlimited potential in me. there's any other words or phrases or just energy within yourself that you want to finish this practice by connecting to, you can do that now. This is my year 2, ... Stay in the moment. There's a good intention right there. To trust the process. What comes, let it come. What goes, let it go. And see what remains. So thank you, everybody, for coming together and creating some goodness. I'm so glad you're all here. I love all of you. And yeah, whatever it is, it will be, right? So feel free to unmute yourself if you want to say goodbye or hello or Happy New Year. It's great to see so many of you. I hope that landed. You're welcome, Nora. If anybody wanted me to repeat any of those questions that I asked or affirmations, let me know, send me a note or ask me now. And otherwise, have an amazing night, everybody. Amazing rest of your day.
Thank you so much,
Jenny.
My pleasure. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here. Great to see so many of you that I love so much, all in one spot.
Yay.
Yay. Okay.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year and all that jazz. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.